Morning. It is February 6th, 6:11 a.m. Just got finished with breakfast. And we gotta head out here and check a few things before we get the day started. So that silage pit's at 74%. The tomatoes here, 469 liters, 451 liters. Getting close to a couple pallets. And we need to crush this down to 100% and then run the forage wagon along the side to collect up the sides here. Chickens seem to be doing pretty good. They've only eaten about, 18 liters of food so far, I think? Yeah, 18 liters of food. Still only at 15 pieces each, 15 eggs apiece. But I think today they're going to lay another 5 eggs in each coop there. Squatch is on the prowl. So we're going to go ahead and pull the wagon out here. I do want to crush the chaff down to 100% first before using this. So we'll just go ahead and park this over here. And let's set it down to a lower speed. I don't know if that helps with the compaction process. I like to think it does. More contact time with the weight of the tire. Alright, so that's at 100%. Probably going to lose a bit of chaff backing out here. Okay, it looks like maybe we didn't. Alright, let's hook it up. And we got to drop down the collection and then run along the side here. Let's go into a lower gear so that way we're not going way too fast. I can't see. There we go. So we're kind of just collecting it, making sure we collect it up out of the side areas. Now some of that's going to be just there all the time. Like we're not going to be able to get everything. It's not going to be perfect. There's really no way to get it to be perfect, which really isn't what my goal is. It's more or less to try and maximize how much we get fermented at once. Is that going to work? I have no idea. I'm kind of learning how this specific type of silage pit works for the first time. Honestly, I've never used this before. I know that there was a mod for this back in Farming Simulator 19, but I never used it, so it's kind of a learning process for me. I don't know if there's a better way to try and compact that without it spilling over the sides, or if that's just the nature of how these types of bunker silos work, at least in game. It's probably that. I would imagine that's what it is. That's just how these ones operate. Which, if that's the case, then that's just how it works. We'll just have to adapt and overcome or adjust to what we're doing. I mean, I would like it to be pretty, but it doesn't need to be. It's fine the way it is. Let's see if we can line that up and get that edge. Probably not very easily. There we go. We're getting some of it there, I think. Yeah. Collecting it up now. There we go. Maybe try to drive the opposite direction on it. But see what I mean, though? I mean, this is a lot to just leave lying on the ground. I don't want to just leave this lying on the ground. I would like to get as much of this as possible. This is 8,000 over 8,000, you know, liters. This is a lot of money to just leave lying on the ground there. And look at that. I mean, it's even more than that. What is that? Yeah, that's over 10,000 liters of chaff. That's, you know, it's about $1,000 to, or like maybe $1,800 to $200 worth of silage during a good selling period. So that's, you know, okay. And we also pick some up out of the silo itself, and look, it's already spilling out the side. So this is just something we're gonna have to adapt and overcome. And we'll try and make it not so tall of a pile. That way we can just, there we go. And hopefully that's not so tall that when we go to compact it down, it spills out the sides again. So let's just run. Hey, what are you doing in there? Get out of there. That's not for you. It's not for you. Alright. So here we go. So we're at 46, and we're going to lose some. That's just the nature of this. I'm going to try not to. I would like to not lose any. 46,000 is a good number to try and stay at. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly compact this. I'm definitely going to speed up this portion of the video because it's going to take a minute to compact all this down. Flatten this all out. And then whatever is left over after this, we pick that up and just hold on to it until later. And that's all we can really do with it for now. I don't believe you can sell chaff. So, see, if it stays just, you see how it's just outside the tires there? I think that still counts when we go to blanket the silo. So if it stays like that, that's perfectly fine. You know, it may look a little messy, but at least it's still going to be blanketed when we go to throw the tarp over the top. So this is kind of what we want. We want nice, slow, steady here, so that way we can get as much of this as possible. Don't want to lose any. Now I don't know if I'm actually compacting it or not. I'm going so slow. There we go. Got a percentage. So yeah, this is probably going to take, you know, maybe not all day, but it's going to take a good portion of the day to finish this off. Or at least a good portion of the first half of the day to finish this. We already lost some. See? I drove a little too far forward. I got a little too, you know, a little too anxious or whatever you want to say. So let's just go ahead and speed up this part of the video while I'm slowly driving over the silage here. We might need to go grab a gas canister and bring it out to the tractor. But I'm going to try and stay centered in here. I only lost, like, what is that, 16 liters out the side. So I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to try and stay in the center here and get it down to 100% compaction. Jump out immediately. As soon as I see it's hit 100, I got to jump out, so that way there's no chance I'm going to lose any more. Jump out, blanket the tarp, or blanket the silo, and then pick up the excess with the loading wagon, and then we wait. Or we don't wait. I mean, there's other stuff we can do. We wait for it to ferment, but while we're waiting for that, we've got some field work that needs to be done. We need to plow the new field on the hill. We need to make the sunflower hill. We also need to go... I need to go to the shop and refuel. So we're going to do that too. But, yeah, just sit back, relax, enjoy, and I will see you back once we're at 100% compaction. Alright, we are finished. So it looks like we did lose a bit, obviously. What we can do is we can run the forage wagon up and down the sides, collect it up, and go store it underneath the, oh, what's that thing called? The, oh man, the word escapes me. The, the bale shelter. Alright, and we just need to run along the side here. There, I think we lost maybe, oh, I don't know, 6,000? Probably 6,000 liters. Maybe not so much. I mean, I might be exaggerating that number a bit. Let's just do that. Okay. No, I don't think we lost that much. We only lost like 1,000, it seems, or a little over 1,000. Maybe 2,000. Is the right number. And we're going a little fast here. I don't know why. I don't know why I was going that fast. Yeah, it looks like a little over 2,000, maybe. Maybe a little over 2,000. Not too terrible, you know. It could have been a whole lot worse. Yeah, we actually did pretty good. That worked out pretty well. There's still a little bit right there I want to try and get. So let's go ahead and flip it around and pick it up. Now, I'm trying to think of what, because I know we still have the field to plow. That still needs to happen. All right, so that's all of it. So we have 45,000 in there. Little under 46,000. That's the amount that we have. So we get a little under 46 there. Don't know how long it's going to take to ferment. Hopefully roughly about the same amount of time this one's going to be taking. If that's the case, we're not going to see a return on this silage until mid-March, maybe even towards the end of March, because I don't remember when I bought this. Don't remember when I bought this and filled it. But for now, we can go ahead and store this silage over in the bale shelter, right underneath the bale shelter there. No big deal on that. And we have to go, and honestly, we could probably just fit the forage wagon underneath this thing too. Let's go ahead and drop it here. Alright, that's good. And we can just go ahead and flip it around, drive in through the back, park this thing until the next time we need it, which won't be until about March, when we get a better grass yield out of the portion of the meadows that is still left. So I'm going to go to the shop. I need to fill up on gas. So go ahead and do that. We don't really have, I mean, you know what? I guess I could bring that extra bit of tree over there too. So I'm going to go grab that. I'm going to head to the shop. I will see you there. We'll see how much we get for that portion of the tree. And then we will begin plowing Sunflower Hill. Okay, we're coming up on the shop, and I just kind of had a bit of an idea. Here for when we go to plant the sunflowers in March. So the planter we're going to end up buying, I believe, also has the option of putting fertilizer in it with the seed, and so you can plant and fertilize at the same time. Now, I still think we can only get one. It's not bad. $426 for that piece of wood. But we can go ahead and take a look here at the planter. A little bit of a hiccup there. Nothing we can buy. I mean, that'd be great. That would speed up mowing by a lot. That's $10,000 though. Oh man, and that's one of the fancy bits that came I would love to get that. Anyway, what is this? Slurry. Oh, slurry distributor. So, okay, let's get to the planter. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This thing right here, the Argo Massif Falcon 3. I don't know how to pronounce the MASV or Z. Maz, possibly. Anyway, so it holds 200 seed and 200 liters of seed, 1,200 liters of fertilizer. And we can just load some fertilizer into that and get at least one fertilization stage completed with it. So there's that option. And then if you look at all the places where we cut grass, that automatically gives you 50% fertilization. Man, this wheel's squeaking a lot. I think I've been using it a lot, so it's already starting to get a little squeaky. Maybe some WD-40, but I'm kind of scared to try and spray that in here. But yeah, so we could throw fertilizer into... Which portion of this is squeaking anyway? It's the little steering knob portion of the steering wheel is squeaking a lot. Maybe I can put some WD-40 in there or something. Or I don't know, because it seems like it's plastic on plastic squeaking. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So the portions where we cut down grass, those portions are 50% fertilized. So we'll get 100% fertilization, and we won't be able to lime. So I believe that's 15%. A 15% malice. From what I understand. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh no. Please come back. Please come back. Whew! Oh, it scared me. I saw my life flash before my eyes. I believe it's a 15% malice. Let's see. Spread lime every 3 harvests to gain a 15% bonus on your yield. The field info will show needs. Spread field. Note that not all models can be used to spread lime. Okay. You can buy lime at pallets. Okay, I think the only thing that really affects it is like minusing yield is like weeds and not plowing the land. I wish we could roll, but we're not going to get that. Mulching, same thing. We're not going to get that. Plowing. Let's stop a minute and see. Using a plow will prevent weeds from growing and increase the yield for the next harvest. Stones will turn up. So now, I guess they're using language that's a little different for this now. So, instead of saying... I'm trying to figure this out here. Special crops. Grass. Chaff and silage. Root crops. Take up large. Some shallow cultivators have a wider working width and cover more ground while having a lower power requirement compared to regular cultivators. The stones dug up are smaller, but they're more expensive and are not as effective against weeds. Disc harrows and power harrows have low power requirements requirements for tractor power, a lower price, and a higher working speed compared to regular cultivators. Disc harrows won't dig up stones. You can also use direct sowing machines. Some of them can cultivate, sow, and even fertilize at the same time. So it's kind of a little screwy here. Spraying. So it's not really showing the same info it used to. I think when they did an update, it kind of changed that page, the help page, a bit. But we won't be able to lime, obviously, and weeding is a toss-up whether or not we're going to have enough money for a weeder or not. Now I'm plowing the fields for the first time, so maybe weeds won't grow this time around. We'll have to see, I guess. Just go ahead and park the trailer and grab the plow and get to work. Because I'm thinking that there's going to be another field that we're going to end up putting down just past the dirt path out there. I can't see. Can't see where I'm backing up. There we go. Right there. Okay. You know, it's going to be interesting trying to continue to make money. Man, now that I keep hearing this, like I can't stop hearing it, and I'm sure it's probably annoying. So I'm gonna end up spraying this with some WD-40 for next time. Before trying to do another video. Trying to record another day, because man, like, if it's annoying me, I'm sure it's annoying you, and I do apologize for that. Alright, so where are we gonna start here? So I'm thinking like over here towards where the path is. Let's go ahead and flip the plow around first. Alright. And we can start right here. We're gonna get it right next to this path. Well, you know what, let's back up a little bit here. How about right here? This is where we're gonna start. And we're just gonna follow around. I'll be here with you for the first go around of the field. And then we're gonna obviously speed up this portion. We want to go like this. Yeah, this field is definitely not going to be, you know, perfectly square or anything like that. That's not the point of the field anyway. But we're just going to go up this way. And we're pulling up a lot of stones with this thing. I wonder if hills have like a higher chance to produce stones. Like grassy forest like this kind of has a higher chance to produce stones, or if it's just random where they end up popping up. I almost said spawned. I mean, I know the correct term would be, you know, spawned or whatever, but it just sounds goofy when you're talking about a simulator game. Something like stones popping up. So just go along the side here. Alright. Don't want to get too far off that direction. And just go around this stone here. This rock formation. Are those branches still going to be there? Yeah, they are. Alright, and then right here, and then we'll just Go down like this. And that way like this. And finish it off right there. Whoop, did not mean to do that. Okay, so we need to change it back to allow create. And now we have the outline for the field, so let's get to work here. We gotta continue plowing this up. This might take a few days. Well, maybe about a day and a half's worth of time, maybe. Although this section is a lot bigger than expanding the first field that we had. I guess we'll find out how long it takes, right? So portions of this field aren't going to have any fertilization on it because of the bare spots where the grass wasn't. So those sections are only going to get one fertilization stage. That's okay. You know, at least try and get one fertilization stage. It will help with the yield quite a bit. Don't really know how many liters I'm going to end up pulling out of the crops, or pulling out of the sunflowers that we're going to be putting down here. But it should be okay, you know. I mean, it's fairly sizable portions out here, and we're all I'm sticking to just one crop for now, just because it'll be easier to afford the equipment instead of having to try and figure out, you know, okay, I can afford this but not this, so plant this first and hopefully sell that and get this. Like it just makes it easier if it's just one crop. And then we'll try and figure out, you know, other things to do later on through the year. But for now, I think focusing on one crop will be okay. What'd be great is to be able to afford, like, say, the oil mill to actually turn these sunflowers into sunflower oil, because that sells for a lot. I think the best price on that is somewhere in the 2,000s per 1,000 liters. But that is a long ways off. I think the oil mill is $90,000. That's not happening anytime soon. But that could be an idea for later on down the line. That could be a long-term goal that we have, is to get into sunflower oil production. But for now, just a simple crop will do just fine. Especially a crop like sunflowers, they sell pretty well. And you can also, one thing I was thinking about doing was trying to place down a few beehives, a few of the semi-large beehives, to get that extra yield bonus. I believe they provide a yield bonus to sunflowers, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check that really quick, shall we? Just to be sure. Don't want to mess it up. Okay, so you got types here. Beehives produce honey, which can be processed further or sold directly. Place your beehives next to fields, and you will soon be living in the land of milk and honey, as the bees will increase the yield of canola, sunflower, there it is, and potato fields. Honey will be delivered to the freely placeable delivery area. And that would be another reason why we would need to get the pallet fork, because pallets of honey are, I think, like 400 kilograms. Or no, it's 400 liters, like somewhere in the realm of like 600 kilograms is how much a honey pallet weighs. And honey's a pretty decent thing to sell too, make a bit of money on. And it doesn't produce super fast or anything like that, but it's just yet another thing that we can make a little bit of money on. I'm get us closer to any of the long-term goals that we end up setting. So yeah, this field is going to have to continue to be plowed tomorrow, for sure. Now this hilly meadow over here, I would like to possibly, in the future, plow out a field and put just a grass crop on it. And we can use that basically to get silage in the future. Because if you have a regular field of grass, you can do all the maintenance stuff on it to up the yield by a lot and make a lot of silage out of that. But that's obviously further down the line once we're able to get a stone picker to clear the field after we plow it. You don't want stones in it. And I don't think the roller will push down those big rocks, obviously. So one thing to think about in the future is that. That's quite a ways down the line, though, because we also need a tractor that can pull just the one roller. There's 2 rollers, but the smallest one requires somewhere in the realm of like 160 horsepower, I think. And I don't think this tractor is going to cut it for that. I know I just missed that portion, but I'm just going to go ahead and back up to do it. There we go. Oh, it was already on the ground. Shoot. I don't think you would ever really want to do that. Try to back up while the plow is lowered into the ground already. I don't think you could, actually. I think you'd end up getting just stopped. This thing would stop working altogether. Yeah, this is a pretty big surface area over here. This is quite a few acres. And we can actually check how many acres we've done so far here. So we've already no, that's worked. 0.74. That's what we've done so far over here. 0.74 acres. Well, it looks like these pieces of wood actually clear out when you run them over. That's nice. The little branches actually get cleared out. I think it was on Elm Creek when I was trying to plow kind of a woodland area after I got done chopping down all the trees. Those sticks that were on the ground wouldn't clear out after you. There's also little patches of clover that wouldn't get plowed in. So I was kind of thinking like, oh, you know, it's gonna look a little messy or goofy or whatever with, you know, sticks still in the field, but I mean that's just, you know, it's just gonna happen like that. It's fine. Not that big of a deal. Nothing to write home about. You know, as long as it doesn't affect the yield or anything, it's fine. But it looks like they are getting cleared out anyway. So they're acting like bushes, pretty much. We've still got quite a bit of this field to go. It's gonna take a while. Some good stuff here. This is just like the last video where I was plowing, extending out that field. This is my favorite part. I love doing stuff like this. All the prep work. The payoff it's so good in the end when you start seeing those fields grow. That's the biggest payoff, I think. I mean, the money's obviously nice and we'll be able to buy better equipment, but I think one of my favorite things is the last growth stage of all the crops. I don't think it really matters what kind of crop too. I like seeing them all get to that very last growth stage right before harvest. Especially something like sunflowers or corn or cotton looks pretty neat. Potatoes too. I like the look of the potato plants before they're ready for harvest. It just looks cool. So we're doing pretty good here. This is actually kind of progressing along at a fairly good rate. So if we're gonna try and place down some beehives, what we want to end up doing then is we're gonna chop down a few more trees. I kind of went over there after recording yesterday's episode. I instead of going directly to bed and skipping the time to go directly to bed, I walked over to the little copse of trees right behind the house there, and a little bit west of the chicken pastures, and I was taking a look over there, and I was thinking, we can leave some of these smaller trees that are closest to the house, but all these big ones, we can chop all these down. We could chop all these down, clear out a little spot out there, put down sell them off, put down one of the beehive types over there, well, maybe not there, but we can put it near the field over there to the left, as you can see to the left there, the one right in front of the house. Place down a beehive over there so it can kind of cover most of that field. Now I don't know how bees work in that regard. If it's like, as long as it's within range of the field itself, the whole field gets it, or if it's a portion in like a circular zone around the beehive that gets the bonus. But regardless of that, we can throw a beehive down over there near that tree, kind of, if you can see off into the distance there, that little copse of trees on top of that stone formation, just above, if you're looking at the workshop, just above the workshop area right there in the horizon there, we could put a beehive kind of over there to cover most of that field. Oh, yikes. I'm talking, not paying attention. This is what happens. But that's where we can put one of the beehives, and then we can put another beehive kind of near this little rock formation. Maybe a third even. Like if we can get 3 beehives, that'd be pretty good, I think. Now I don't know what kind of beehives we're going to be able to afford. Maybe the little 2 Langstroth beehives. Not really sure yet. We'll have to find out after selling off the trees. Man, this this is a crazy amount of rocks. What would be fantastic if I could get a rock picker. Maybe that's what I should go for, is the rock picker instead of the beehives. I don't know. But I think the beehives would actually be a bit better. I'm kind of scatterbrained when it comes to this kind of stuff because I have an idea of what I want to do, and then I get distracted into, well, but what about all these rocks? Like thinking, well, what about all these rocks? Well, what about, this, or what about that? And I need to focus. I need to focus on one thing at a time here. Brain's going a mile a minute trying to figure out what to do. There's a lot of different things you have to take into consideration in this game sometimes, so I get a little bit antsy So we're making some pretty good progress on this field here. We'll probably go ahead and finish it in the morning. Not sure if we want to start plowing the other field right away. The one on the other side of the road. I'll explain that here in a little bit when we go to put away the equipment for the night. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can accomplish here in February. February's, you know, kind of the prep month for planting season, so I mean, if we could get a third field of sunflowers down, man, that'll be a lot of sunflowers. Because I think, honestly, with this field and the expanded initial field, we might be looking at somewhere in the realm of 20,000 liters of sunflowers. Maybe. I think that field over there is probably going to bank us somewhere around 8,500. Maybe. At the same time, we won't have the lime. We won't have the extra fertilization, so probably a lot less, I'm thinking then. A lot less than what I'm thinking. This field will probably do a little better, just because one, it's larger, two, there's a bit bigger of a surface area of where it's been fertilized already. And I'm thinking now too, is that, so when I have these fields plowed, I think I am going to sell the plow back. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there. I don't think sunflowers require plowing after the first harvest. I think it might be one of those crops that possibly needs plowing every 2 or 3 harvests. Not 100% on that, but if we can get a little bit of money together to throw down some beehives and start producing some honey, we could be selling honey too throughout the year. And right now, as it stands, we're probably going to have to be selling, you know, whenever we get a pallet of something, sell it, so that way we can get the cash. Start progressing towards better equipment, or honestly, more equipment that we need. And I think one thing I want to work towards is obviously that harvester. We're going to need that thing. Otherwise, these fields are just, they're useless if we don't have that. So okay, we're doing pretty good here. We've got quite a bit of this already done. We'll go ahead and take a look at how many acres have been plowed so far. Here, once the day is coming to a close. We've done a lot. You know, for the type of equipment we have, we've done quite a bit of field work already. And there's just more to come. A lot more to come. A lot of work to be done. It's a little difficult to see what's going on too. The lights definitely help, but It's not quitting time yet. It's not dinner time yet. Gotta keep going. Gotta get what we can done with the time that we have. Finished up and ready for planting by March. So... I was thinking one thing we could do too is take what little chaff is left once the other bunker silo is completely emptied, the small one. We could throw the little chaff that we have in there and see if we can blanket that much. If not, we'll pull the chaff back out and just sell it. But if we could just, you know, blanket that little 2,000 amount and sell that off, that would help. I don't know how long it's going to take to ferment, but it shouldn't take that long if it's based off of liters. So we're getting close to quitting time here. I can hear the dinner bell already. It's just about done with this one. It's looking nice. Looking real nice. Thinking possibly one more pass. Clean up a few of these spots here. Or honestly, we could just do this. Clean off this bit. Just about time to be done for the day. It's kind of why I wish I had a pressure washer. I could go and wash all of my equipment at the end of the day too. It could be part of the daily chores. Okay, we're going to call it right there. Go ahead and shut off limit it to fields, so that way we don't accidentally make a little divot somewhere. Let's check the 76% here. Good. Alright, so we plowed 1.72 acres today so far. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write that down. 1.72 acres. Let's see, where is... You know what, I'll throw it in a note in my phone. 1.72, because I would like to know how big that field's going to be. Oh, I have no notes. I have no thing to write with either. Good lord. What is happening? There's all the paper that I usually have over here. Let's see. 1.72 acres. Okay. So that was 1.72 acres that we plowed up today. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now we're gonna go ahead and leave the plow attached to the tractor, because we're just gonna pretty much be using it exclusively for the next few days or so. Let's have a look-see at this one. I don't think this one's very fermented yet. Oh, it says 2%. So I don't think it's based off of liter count. Possibly. I don't know. Looks like the chickens are doing good. 21 pieces. So we got six on that tick instead of 5. That's good. So this is what I'm talking about out here. So where's the, there's a path somewhere. There it is. So there's this path right here, and this whole section of field up here. We could turn all this into a sunflower field as well. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to end up doing. Well, it says 20 pieces, but I saw it said 21. So let's see here. There it is. Wait, what's that? Is that little bit right there? Is that harvested? Is that a little spot that I missed? I think that's a little spot that I missed. Oh yeah, little tiny spot that I missed. Oh well, that's no big deal. So you see how it's all blue right here, and then all this blue right here. That's the first level of fertilization, and then we can get a second level out of it once we go to plant with that specific planter. Alright. The greenhouses are looking like they're going to be having a pallet apiece soon here. That's going to be great. So how much are tomatoes going for? Let's go ahead and check that. Silage is at 184 right now. It's kind of going down. Tomatoes are at 554. They're going to start going down here soon too. So I'm going to try and sell those as quickly as possible. We're only going to get like that amount, but you know, every little bit helps, right? But anyway, thanks for stopping by the farmstead. I'm gonna get me some dinner, get to bed already, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Until then, have a great night, everyone.